Hello everyone, this is Chris from C&L Farms Grows, and what we are looking at right now is a slab that was recently poured for the new woodworking studio. We have a lot of new projects that we've been working on over the winter to increase our income streams, opportunities, and we're hoping that this will provide us with the ability to make small woodworking projects such as cutting boards and serving platters and charcuterie boards, things like that you know, a lot of people are very interested in purchasing. They've shown interest in what we've done in the past with some of our small woodworking projects, and I thought that it would be a good idea to increase that. So as we move down this way towards the farm, not a whole lot going on down here. You know, we've been spending most of the winter working on small projects such as that woodworking studio, or woodworking shop rather. Our two little chickens, which I have to let out. I'm gonna go ahead and do that while we're here. One of them's been a little broody, so she's been sitting on the nest. Not quite sure why she wants to do that. You know, she's not going to hatch any eggs because we don't have any roosters. So none of these are fertilized, but if we had a source for some hatching eggs, I would definitely get them. But let's open this up for them so they can come out. There's one of them, not quite sure her name. The other one is right there. She doesn't seem to want to sit in the nest, but I believe her name is Henny Penny. That's what my wife named her. And that might be Big B. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So let's let them do their thing in there while I move on. So we've done a lot of cleanup on this side of the greenhouse. There were a lot of things, just to mismatch things. We've moved things that were next to the building up there to make way for that studio, that workshop. So we've moved a lot of the aquaponics systems and components down here. We have a lot of work to do. We're going to be expanding this chicken house. I've got to get some more tin for the roof, but we're going to expand this chicken house so we can have maybe, I don't know, 8 or 10 more hens. And more run for them. We'll just enclose this entire little building structure that was supposed to be a compost setup, but then the chickens came into our life and now it's not. So move over here. We've planted a lot of trees for our orchard, so we've been spending a lot of time with getting, you know, currants. We've got some currants right here. There's a white currant and a red currant, I believe. I'm not quite sure which varieties they are. I can't remember. And over here, this is the start of our grapevines. So we've got 3 or 4 different varieties of grapes in this area. We utilize landscape fabric to one, for maintenance, so we don't have to cut as much grass. It also helps keep the farm a little bit cleaner. We're in the process of moving these beds and stacking them too high because I really don't need that many raised beds. And this year we're going to have a number of crops that we're going to grow, but we're going to grow fewer crops, meaning we're going to have tomatoes and cucumbers. We're going to have some watermelon and cantaloupe and winter squash and pumpkins instead of planting a lot of small crops like a bunch of different lettuces or Brussels sprouts or broccoli or carrots or things like that. So we're just going to reduce the number of crops, but we're going to increase the crops we do grow and just specialize more in certain types of crops. We've got roughly, I'm thinking there's probably about 25 trees, fruit trees on the property right now. Actually, it's probably more than that. I don't even know how many we're hoping to expand a lot more out in that general direction towards the tree line back there. But we've got Gala apples and Fuji apples. We've got nectarines, plums, peaches, persimmon. We've got some pecan trees that we've just recently planted. So they were bare roots, and we just planted those last weekend actually. We have plenty of figs, muscadines, and hopefully we'll get a pretty good crop off of those this year. As we move up in this general direction, the blueberries are doing wonderful. I don't know if anyone remembers, but about a year and a half ago is when we planted these, and they are almost, a lot of them are almost 3 feet tall now. It's kind of hard to see, but this particular one is, it's about that tall, so that's about 3.5 feet tall right there, just for that one twig. But most of them, you know, they were really small plants, and they have quadrupled or in size. We have a number of additional blackberries up here that we've planted, so they're just starting out. They won't bear any fruit, but the ones that are already vining, these are the new first year vines that will produce this second year. We cut out all of the old canes because they're just not going to produce anymore. We're clearing this area up here to add more landscape fabric in order to plant a number of pumpkins and watermelon and cantaloupe in this general area. So that will allow us to just plant them and let them go. They should do just fine. They don't need a whole lot of watering. Typically watermelons don't like to be watered, which is kind of surprising, but they actually do better if you do not irrigate them, from my experience. It may just be because I have this large hill here, and it's and there's a small swale, which you really probably can't see, but basically that's a swale in that general area. We'll see if we can stand in it right here. So in this area, this is a swale, and it's saturated right now. But what it does is it sinks and slows the water, so it sinks into the soil, and then it rehydrates this entire hillside here, which slopes from left to right down towards the main garden area. So that's what we've got going on outside. Let's head inside the greenhouse real quick. The hydroponics system is currently running, but there's really nothing growing in it. We don't have a lot of success in the wintertime with growing lettuce in the hydroponic system inside the greenhouse, because it just stays really damp and very humid in here, and as the sun comes out it makes it even worse, so we end up with a lot of rot on the plants. So what we do have are we have a little bit of kale and some bok choy. It's doing really well. Here's the kale, and there's some spinach here. It's got a little damage from freeze, but for the most part we just cut off what we want. This is just for us to eat. There's nothing really growing in any of these beds, save that one lettuce plant back there that my wife has not given to the chickens yet. So that's interesting. I need to pull that out of there. But you know, our goal is to, once the woodworking shop is finished, there's a number of tools in here that we can move out, and some of these tables can, you know, be moved out of the way, or at least, you know, used in a better way. Right now it's just storage for most of our tools, and you know, the chop saw and the auger that we have here. And this kale plant, which was pulled out of the system. Actually, no, this is broccoli. This is broccoli, yeah. See, there's a little head of broccoli right there. It was pulled out of the hydroponic system and thrown in this bucket. And as you can see, I don't think I've watered it a single time, and it's thriving. So I'm not quite sure how it's doing that, but maybe it's just magic. These are some overwintering pepper plants, sweet pepper plants and bell pepper plants. They should perk up as soon as it gets warm enough and I can put them back out into the garden. So that's about it. That's all that I have. If you want to see more videos, I'm trying to do more videos. I just don't have a whole lot of time. Then, hit that subscribe button. That, makes me want to get out and make more videos. So it's really up to you, help me get the time and show that you are supporting what I'm doing. I'd really like to start doing some woodworking videos and more videos in our commercial kitchen of some of the baking activities that go on weekly. I just don't have time to set it all up and film it and then edit everything. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you're notified, and we'll see you in the next video.